When we remember a time, we remember moments. A kaleidoscope of the sights, the sounds, the emotions that remind us of the way we were. Our world. It's about time. Here are Linda Ellerby and Ray Gandolf.
For the next hour, think of your television set as a time machine.
Our attic is a crowded room tonight. Everything from Betty Furness's old refrigerators to 500 million Chinese.
Welcome to our world. World War II ended 4 years ago. Post-war America ended this year. Summer ended yesterday. It's September 1st, 1949. Time to move on. But to what? Sometimes we seem to be all signpost and no destination. This autumn, we will look across a crowded world, and we will indeed see strangers. Some of them will be us.
This country lost its nuclear monopoly in the fall of 1949. The Soviet Union had just exploded its first atomic bomb, tested it in Siberia. We were still testing ours in the Pacific. But most of us tucked that information in the back of our minds and tried not to notice. When we thought of the Pacific that fall, it was more likely the South Pacific of Rodgers and Hammerstein. We were as high as the flag on the 4th of July, or Labor Day.
Labor Day weekend, 1949. A good month, a good year, a good country for a new start. Time to move on and go back to basics. A family picnic, as American as, well, a family picnic. How nice that when someone says bomb, they mean a long forward pass. Time to celebrate the American way and all its reassuring symbols, like parades and pretty girls. All of them Miss America, but only one the winner. Still, competition is the American way. So are unions. Another symbol of that hero, the common man. This we believe. All men are created equal. One nation, under God. America is where America should be. Right at the top of the world. And growing and multiplying. For 4 years now, we've made up for lost time, playing and pairing and procreating. If babies have become our most prolific product, at least the product is made in America and built to last. Unfortunately, they do not make them with gills, and we made babies faster than we made houses. These are nice, but a house to build a dream on means a house you can afford. Enter William Levitt.
We believe that every family in the United States is entitled to decent shelter. We believe that private enterprise should provide that shelter insofar as it can.
I remember sitting out in Pearl Harbor with a couple of fellow officers. I was in the Seabees, and all of us, of course, were associated one way or another with the building. And I said to them, do you fellas realize that for 5 years, a year before the war and 4 more for us, there's been literally no housing built for people. Some defense housing, but that's about all. And when we get back home, there's going to be a mad rush.
Jerry Worthing was part of the mad rush, back from the war to find no room at the inn.
These guys were coming home. They were thinking about their girlfriends that were waiting for them or their wives that they had married during the war, and there was just no place for them to live.
Literally, people were sleeping 2 and 3 families together. They had parks, any place. They got married, they had kids, no place to put the kids.
They all had seen movies and dreamed of a house that's all theirs, and they just were not available. So I guess they were fortunate. Levitt came along and started building.
I can see. Levitt looked at a Long Island potato field and saw their dreams. Land was cheap, and Levitt never liked cities anyway. Levittown. Little boxes, yes. Ticky-tacky, no. Think of Levitt as the Henry Ford of housing. Think of his houses as Model Ts.
And it was just a question of trying to build as fast as you could and build anything. Well, we tried to build something a little cute, a little bit nice. And we were building at the rate of 18 in the morning and 18 in the afternoon. Every day, 5 days a week.
Different crews would come in one by one and build special parts of the house, very specialized crews.
For instance, a carpenter did only framing. Another carpenter did only trimming. Another carpenter would do only roofing.
So there was one crew that was painting green paint, and they had a quota of so many houses that they had to do kitchen and hall in each day. Remember, Levitt was knocking out 35 houses a day. And so there was a crew that just went around and taped up windows so that the spray crew wouldn't spray on the glass.
It's a reverse of the automobile assembly line. The product stood still, and the workmen moved.
Everywhere. And then the people moved. Jerry and Claire Worthing, two of the new pioneers creating a new American lifestyle.
The thing that was different here is we started from potato fields, and there was no community we moved into. We were all new. There weren't the established citizenry, so we were all facing the same things. Homes didn't have telephones initially, and so we'd know where phones were in cases of emergencies. Lawns were seeded, so we lived through mud, all of us, and all of the problems of getting established.
We ran an ad saying that Monday morning the house will be open and we will take deposits, $100. On Wednesday night, crowds began to gather on the lawn, across the road, back, all over. They were there all night, and we didn't open till Monday morning. And Monday morning, the line was all, as far as your eye could see.
There are people that really were grateful, everybody was grateful, to have some sort of a place to live. So he was a hero.
People came along, signed, and went away. We closed 1,100 contracts in one night.
Everywhere you go, sunshine follows you. Everywhere you go.
The layout of the house was the same all over, and so as you had children going in one house and the other, they didn't feel strange at all, because it was pretty much the same. It was very nice.
Well, a couple of interesting anecdotes about that. One came from a very famous man that you all have heard of, Frank Lloyd Wright. And I met Mr. Wright. I said, I know you don't like our house. Like it, I detest it, said he. I said, tell me, Mr. Wright, what would you do with a house like that? Well, he would make it individual and so on. Now, what would you charge for a house like that?